Merge. Merge.
All right.
Okay, now are we all three?
Hello.
Hello, Justin.
Hey.
Adam's here.
Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you, sir.
I'm doing good.
Good.
Just want to go over a few things
Okay.
for this lease option deal.
Okay.
And to make sure I've got myself covered on my end, because I'm not, I've been leasing this house for 11 years, so typically I put the advertisement out there and then I interview the people, check their credentials, looking to make sure they're qualified, and then sign a lease, for a year or whatever like that. So,
Okay.
This is a little different. So I'm signing a lease option with you or your company, and then you're going to assign it to another tenant, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and so we agreed to a period about a month. We were saying the middle of October to look at it, inspect it, and show it, and try and assign it.
Yes, sir.
So my question would be, I don't see on this agreement anywhere that come the 15th of October, if you haven't found a suitable buyer, that the agreement would then become void.
Okay. Section 12 there kind of talks a little bit about being able to cancel the agreement up until that point. So here's what will happen.
You have the right to cancel it, but I don't have the right to cancel it.
Yep, and we can play around with the words or change them however you feel comfortable. But really, go ahead, sir.
I would just like to know that if come that time we haven't got a buyer, that it then becomes void and then nothing goes any farther.
Okay, perfect. I've got no problem with that whatsoever.
Your option or my option, that it's both of our agreement that that's exactly what happens. Because at that point, then I would just go do what I've done in the past, which is just get a tenant.
I understand. I totally 100% agree with you. I've got no problem with that whatsoever. We can add that right there to the agreement and the additional terms if you want. We can say something to the liking of this agreement expires, becomes null and void or canceled at October 15th, 2022, 12 a.m. Something like that. Does that sound?
Yeah, if no acceptable tenant has agreed to.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, let's add that as I saw 12 and I thought, yeah, it's close, but it's not exactly what I was hoping to see. Because come that time, I'm sitting here thinking, well, if you don't have a tenant, it doesn't say that I can cancel it,
right?
Or that it would cancel. It just almost goes into effect that you have 18 months to exercise this option. Because I'm signing this with you.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yep.
This option is signed with you. Isn't that correct?
Well, Valerie she's as the signer on the agreement, but when you're doing business with Valerie, you're doing business with me. So if you're comfortable with that, I'm comfortable with that. If you're not comfortable with that, I can put my signature on it. I'm okay with that.
No, and Valerie's name's on there, and I'm sorry, Valerie. I agree. It's with Valerie, my Property Solutions LLC. So that part is confusing to me, that I'm dealing with so many entities. I'm dealing with 3 different people here. I'm dealing with Valerie, I'm dealing with Justin, and I'm going to be dealing with a tenant. So that part to me has got me a little anxious,
Okay, well, maybe I can help with that, Tim. Valerie is who you're signing with if you sign. I am Valerie's mentor. Okay, so I've been doing this. I've been doing this for about since 2001. So I don't know, quite a little while. I actually live in Independence. So,
Missouri?
Yep, Independence, Missouri. Yep. So not very far from the property. Probably not very far from where you live.
Yeah.
So I'm a local guy, and Valerie is just kind of a student mentee of mine. So she's working with me. We're working together as a partnership for now, while she's learning and growing as kind of a protege of mine. So that's how I kind of plug in here to the picture. And then the tenant buyer that we find, I would like to, if you're okay with it, Tim, I'd like you to give us the thumbs up or the thumbs down. If you feel like we're going to do the background checks, we're going to do the credit screens, income verification, employment verification, we're going to do the whole 9 yards. We can show you some details of that and let you decide if you feel like, this is a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you give us the thumbs down on the tenant buyer, we're not going to do that. I mean, we're not even going to try to push that with you because everybody needs to agree here. And does that make sense, man?
I got it. I got the note right here that was coming up, a question. I got it right here in bold letters. Tenant qualifications. That's exactly what I was going to ask you was, do you go through everything you just described and will you share that with me, or do I got to get my standard application filled out and go through my due diligence that I normally do? Sounds like you're going to do the due diligence, and if you share that with me, and I could probably do some checking on my own, and I probably would just to make sure everything is legit. Then I'm totally good with that.
Okay.
Sounds like you're going to take some of that work away from me, but I probably would ask for that information and do some checking, on my own.
Absolutely, dude. We use TransUnion, mysmartmove.com. I don't know if you've heard of that, but TransUnion, it's a TransUnion company, one of the major credit reporting bureaus, and
that's credit reporting,
they actually run all that background check stuff for us, and the tenant buyer actually pays for it themselves. So it's really kind of easy for us. But I'll show you what reports they give us, and then you can tell us, hey, I'm just not comfortable with these people. Okay, great, man. Fine, we won't do it. Or you might say, hey, I met the people. They came out and looked. Those are the people. These are the reports. I feel totally fine with them. Let's do this. Great, Tim. Let's do it. That's what we want, man.
Cool. Yep, sounds good there. So that takes care of that question, and that's exactly what I expect to do. And then on showing the place, okay, I can put a lockbox on there. You are local. I don't know if you would even go over there with your prospective tenants, but I'd prefer to, sell the place myself. I think being there and showing it to them and talking it over would be a better situation. Yeah.
I'm okay with that. If you want to be present when we show the place, what our protocol is we normally, if you like that, we'll send you what we call an appointment confirmation memo, which is basically just a one-page, hey, here's who's wanting to come see it, their names, here's a little bit of info about them, and here's when they want to do it. Are you okay with that? If you are, sign here. That way everybody's on the same page, and we also try to get driver's licenses too, so you kind of know who's coming is really who's coming.
Do you plan on being there to show it to them?
I don't normally. I normally do this, honestly, Tim. I normally do this virtually, man. So I don't. It's pretty rare that I do one right here in my own local hometown, but. But
that's what I was just thinking.
I mean, I do them all around, so I can't really go. I would go to this one if I needed to, though, because it's so close. But chances are, these people have some kind of social media presence that they look like real people with jobs, and so like we feel safe about it. If you're comfortable with it, whatever you want, Tim, you tell me.
It's not the safety issue. It's not that I think they're gonna go in there and squat. It's that I feel like I would be able to sell it better or get a better feel of the person, if I'm there to meet them and all that sort of stuff.
Let's do it that way.
Yeah, if we can work it out. I do work days, makes it a little tougher. 3 o'clock is kind of my early time, but the rest of the evening, most people like to look at them in the evenings anyway.
Yeah.
Typically.
Okay.
So if we could work it out to that I'm there, that would be better. I would feel better, but I can't put a box on there. That's not a problem.
Okay.
So we'll try and arrange that. But so let's see. I'm reading my notes here real quick. Okay, we already talked about putting in the voided after the just completely voided if we don't have a suitable tenant. the showings. The seller is able to cancel the contract. Oh, okay. Here's a big one. The contract doesn't say nothing about the house being sold as is. So I don't want to get in a situation where it says okay, here the maintenance part says the repairs and management of the property not to exceed $500. Right there, I'd like to say $500 per repair.
Okay.
Instead of $500 could be over the entire length of the contract.
Is it okay if I put down there $500 per repair per month?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
We'll call it. We'll stop it at per. Yeah.
And then we'll say as is too. We'll add that.
Yeah, because I don't want them to get in there and say, okay, I want you to do this, and this.
Right.
Repair.
Yeah.
This, and this, because it's not. There's going to be little things or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just as is.
Yeah.
That's.
We don't want them to do that either.
They don't want it.
Yeah.
They don't want it in the condition it's at. I don't want to have to make a bunch of repairs.
Right.
Now I might, if there's something legit, to expedite that. I mean, it'd be negotiable, but I don't want to be legally held to doing that. So the property should be sold, and somewhere in there in an as-is condition.
Okay. Gotcha. I'll put that in there. That's how we want to do it too. So perfect.
Okay. So I just didn't say it, so I'd like to say something like that, and then $500 per month per repair per month, something.
Okay, sure.
Along those lines.
Okay.
The utilities on the place will have to all be in their name by the time they move in. If it's the 15th, before the 15th, I don't want anybody moving in without them utility in their name.
We'll add that there too. No problem. Perfect.
Not like, we will have it, and transfer, whatever. They got to call in there.
Right.
And we can get it because I got bit by that here recently. So now I'm all leery about it. Never had it happen before, and then I did, and I'm like, okay, that's stupid on my part.
Well, no, I hear you. I don't blame you.
You always have things happen. You never have them, run into that, and then all of a sudden you do, and you're like, wow, I should have thought of that. So, okay, I think we've gone over. I got the utilities on there and maintenance, the tenant qualifications. You're going to take care of that.
Yep.
And agree to that.
Yep.
And so once I sign this, once we make those alterations and I sign it, I'll be signing this with Valerie, and then we'll have until the 15th. And if we don't have an acceptable tenant and a lease signed by the 15th. Oh, that's the other thing is I've got my own lease. Now, would you all like to have a copy of that lease? I want them to sign that lease just like it says right there in number 5, I believe.
Right. Yeah, that's fine. What we really prefer, I'm not an attorney or anything, so I don't really need to look at it. What we really would want to do is when we find an acceptable tenant, you give us the thumbs up about them. Then at that time, we'll execute paperwork with them, and we can then set up that lease between you and them. And so we're not even involved.
Yes, okay, that's cool, because, I'll need their name and, everything that on it.
Yep, we'll take care of that. Yep.
So you'll actually provide me that information.
Yes, sir.
After I show it to them. Are you going to pre-qualify them before you show it or post-qualify?
Well, we pre-qualify them and then we show them the property usually, like after we find out that they have a certain set of criteria, but then after the fact, after they've seen the property and they say they want to move forward, then we run the official checks on them.
Okay, yeah, because that costs you money maybe or something.
Well, it costs them money, and
costs them money,
and they won't even want it, they wouldn't want to spend the money not having ever seen the interior of the property.
Yeah. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like a good process. So you'll contact me with this, whatever form intending to show the property. I'll agree to it, whatever. We'll show it.
Okay.
If they like it, you'll qualify them completely.
Yeah.
Send me that information.
Yeah.
I say yay.
Yeah.
And then the monies, do they pay me directly?
Yep.
For the rents?
Yep.
Okay. Because usually I have my tenants just deposit the money in my bank, quite honestly.
Yep. We'll set it up however you want.
Different ways. There's all different ways. But
okay.
But anyway, okay, so they would pay me the $2,200. It's $1,100 a month and $1,100 move in.
Yes, sir.
Which the second $1,100 would go toward the price of the purchase of the house.
Yes, sir.
Within 18 months, and I'll put that in the lease, and I think it's on the option anyway. So
okay. Perfect.
And then and then I just work with them for the signing of the lease, and you'd work with them on the. So then jump forward ahead if they actually do end up wanting to purchase it.
Okay.
Am I going to be selling it to you and you to them?
No, sir. At the time that they're ready to execute the option to purchase, they'll present to you a purchase and sale agreement, the standard state of Missouri Realtors sanctioned one.
For sale by owner.
Yes. Yep. And at that time, you'll just be, you'll put it in escrow at a title company or with your closing attorney and close directly with them.
Perfect. Okay. That sounds great.
Yep.
Okay. So if you don't mind me asking, how do you make money out of this?
Yep. Well, you're going to charge them $1,100 plus $1,100 to move in, and then $1,100 a month to stay. And how we make money is we charge them a fee beyond the $1,100 to get in. Okay, so we charge them a fee to put all this together for them. In other words.
Okay.
And then assign it.
One time upfront fee for them to pay you to find the property for
yes,
them.
sir. One time fee. Yes.
Okay. That's cool. Okay. And so I like that. So there's no go through, pass through a title and all that. It's just straight up for sale by owner through a title, doing the escrow, doing the deeds for us and everything, just like normal.
Sir. Yes, sir. If I promise to never get in your way, well, does that mean we have a deal?
Yeah. It's sounding good, man. I mean, I like the sound of it. You've answered all my questions.
Great.
Because professional operation, and I saw both your websites, and so I've been contacted by some other people through this process wanting to do the same thing, and they're not nearly as professional. And so
thank you.
I showed my lawyer. He was good with it all. He threw some of these questions out for me. Yeah. And
good stuff.
I said to him, if they go default on this lease, is it the same eviction process? He says absolutely, exactly the same.
Yep.
So
identical.
I give them 3 days to get the money in the bank, and then I send a letter out that you're in default if it's late, and that gives them 7 days, and after that they're in default, and it goes to the lawyer. So because these people try and leak you along and everything, and they never intend to pay. So anyway, that's what the lease will say.
Are you and your
3 days to pay.
Yes, sir. I was just going to ask you: are you and your lawyer, your attorney, comfortable with explaining that to the tenant buyer and getting them all set up with that the way you like, the way you're comfortable?
To make the rent payment.
Yeah, and with the lease and everything, you guys are okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I got the lease. I just fill it out myself.
Okay.
Yeah, really, this lease is a very standard lease.
Okay.
And
cool.
I've been using it for a long time, and the one I've only really had to evict one person, and it's been held up in court and everything.
Well, good.
So it's a good lease and everything.
Good.
I mean, hopefully, I never have that.
Right.
To it, I just asked him. I said, "Would the process be the same?" And he said, "Yeah, the process would be exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Do what I've done in the past." So hopefully, I mean, obviously, nobody wants that to come to that, right? No investor ever wants to deal with that. But you got to know, make everybody know the situation. So I'm sure they will be all good. But anyway, it all sounds good. So if you guys want to change that agreement to meet them terms, I'd probably get it signed and back to you tomorrow.
Okay, great. Can we get it to? Oh, I'm sorry, Valerie. Go ahead.
I just have one question.
Go ahead.
And I may have asked you this before. Sorry, I have a cold. How does your name appear on the deed? Is it
Anything else that we can do to make you feel more comfortable, at this time, Tim, or maybe not?
I think you really have made me feel comfortable, quite honestly, and I appreciate that because, you know, I've always thought about lease optioning it. I didn't know how to go about marketing it like that. Then, of course, my lawyer would want to do all the paperwork for me and I'd spend $1,000 on him doing that, you know?
Right.
And so, you know, I just ran this by him, which that cost me money. But you know what? You can't even wink at a lawyer without charging you.
I'll tell you what, ain't that the truth?
It's peace of mind for me to, you know, get his thumb up, thumb down on things. And anyway, so I've always thought about doing it. And so you're kind of streamlining the process for me here. And so
thank you.
Looks like I'm all good. I'm all good.
Okay. Looking forward to doing business with you, Tim. Would you like to take down my phone number if you have a pen handy?
Yeah, I sure would.
Okay.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
All right. Justin Chamness is my name, and my phone number is 816-875-6961. Now,
6961.
Yep.
Chamness, how do you spell that last name?
CHAM like money, N like now, ESS like Sam.
Got it. Chamness.
Yep.
Got you, Jim.
Johnson, yep. 816-875-6961.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks,
You're right
dude.
here in Independence. Maybe even, you know, we might even run into each other somewhere. But
yeah.
All right, so I'll be dealing with Valerie from now on, right, Valerie?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me know any questions or concerns. I'll be happy to help.
Sounds good. I'll be looking for the agreement in the email.
If you have anything you need that you think that I might be able to help with, feel free to call me too, Tim, or text or whatever.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Wonderful. Sounds good.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. You both take care. Have a good evening.
You too.
You too.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, yeah. Roller coaster.
Laugh it to the bank like ha 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 ha. Ooh, go. Laugh it to the bank.